Hey Josh, it's good to see you today. Thank you for grabbing some time.
Oh, great to see you, Amanda. Always happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, we've been talking about building trust and authenticity in like the pre-sales, sales process, and today we get to talk about the best one, which is delight, because that's after somebody has agreed to partner with you. They've agreed to be your customer, and they love or like your brand enough that they're like, "Hey, I am in." So today I have, of course, the same series of questions that we've been talking about, but it's super important, obviously, for brands to continue to show up as authentic and as trustworthy. But sometimes after they sign on a potential prospect as a customer, they fail. They
Mhm.
Something flops, something breaks, or they fail to live up to their end of the bargain. So, what would you say, or why is it important for brands to build trust and authenticity when it comes to like the delight stage and continue to do that?
Well, I think there's a couple angles to look at something like this, right? When you're a business and you're looking to scale and grow, you either look at, okay, well, how much does it cost to acquire new customers versus maintain the existing ones? So selfishly, from a business perspective, it makes a lot of sense to make your existing customers happy because you've already done all the legwork in building trust within the marketing aspects and that pre-sale throughout your sales process. And now we have them. So if we're able to keep them happy and keep even growing within that business, not only does it make it easier to expand within the accounts because we all know it's CAC is a lot less from an existing customer versus a new customer. But even then, it saves you all that legwork. So from a selfish perspective, thinking from a sales mind, it makes it a lot easier to maintain and grow your business because you already have those relationships. You've already gone through the legal, you've already built
Yeah.
that relationship there. But even just selfishly, like they've already been using your product, they're already loving it. Why not just make them love it even more and continue that
Mhm.
relationship to drive forward? So
I love that too. And like NPS scores is something that is important, at least in our organization, to track where our clients are at. And the passive NPS scores, they basically don't count. You want to have somebody that's a promoter. And sometimes somebody's just okay with what you do, your product or your service solves their need. But in order to bump them to promoter, you need to go a little bit above and beyond. You need to do a little bit something special and kind of do that, which is exactly like what you're saying. But sometimes brands miss the mark. Sometimes they don't do it. So, what happens when brands fail to continue building trust and authenticity with clients?
And I think it's again one of those twofold answers because the immediate one is, well, you lose that business, right? And then they
Yeah.
go to maybe a different vendor, a competitor of yours, and then they're still growing the market. It's just not your market. But there's the other lens that what bad news travels twice as fast as good news, or whatever that saying is as
Yeah.
well.
So
And
true.
especially when you're looking to build trust and authenticity earlier on within your process, like we've been talking about through some of the other series, it's a very easy way to shoot yourself in the foot when you really miss the mark in a post-sales angle. Because one of the things that we all know, especially from a pre-sale side of things, is that testimonials and things that people are saying about your service speak wonders to people actually coming on board with you. That's why systems like G2 Crowd and Trust Radius and so many others, in any app store, like the HubSpot
Mm-hmm.
app store,
Yep.
and why those reviews matter so much. Because people want to understand that, like you're saying, it's not just, hey, these flashy things at the front line. People want to see that this is actually going to impact their business. And a lot of that is through how it's measured through NPS scores and retention and reviews. So what we're doing from a post-sales angle drastically fuels everything we're trying to do from a pre-sales angle as well. And the
Oh,
proof's in the
I love that.
pudding when we're talking about that too. So
I love that. And I think, people are usually, like you said, they're quick and they're vocal if they don't like something. But it's important if they're behind your brand and they want to promote you that you amplify that with reviews and sharing what they have to say. I love that.
mhm.
What are some of the ways that you've seen brands, and I know we've even talked about Vidyard specifically, but really like excel in this area of just continuing to be authentic and trustworthy?
Yeah, and I think a lot of this comes down to like helping with adoption, helping teams understand the success they're seeing, but even road mapping, right? So not just understanding like, hey, this is the results you've seen so far, but this is where we can take you now, or here's some ideas on how you can drastically improve upon that too. So I know some of the things that we love to do at Vidyard is using video to walk through things like quarterly business reviews
Mm-hmm.
and helping our stakeholders under not only for them to understand the impact that Vidyard's having, how their team is using it, where they continue to grow and see those like 1-2% increases moving forward, but making it very easy for our champions to communicate that value internally too, which obviously then helps from an upsell perspective. Because if the greater business can then understand, or a CFO can then understand, hey, well, we spent $1 and seen a 4, 6, 10x increase.
Mm-hmm.
This is something to double down on. So that very much helps with account expansion. But two, just making sure that throughout the process, we're making it very easy for people to understand how to troubleshoot things. So one of the beauties of asynchronous video is we don't have to look through our busy calendars to try to find something 2 weeks out to help fix that issue. We can understand that, make sure we understand what that problem might be, and then show them very easily how to solve that too. So a very easy way that I know our team loves to even leverage our tool that we love to sell, just to make sure that we are making sure our clients are staying happy through that entire experience too.
I like that. And I even like how you like cut out making sure that you have to like line up at a meeting, like asynchronous communication. I think a lot of brands take for granted. But that doesn't mean that you're going to wait, 36 hours to reply to an email. Like you can do a video, you can solve a problem, you can go that extra step and make a client feel cared for and know that like you want to address the solution. I really like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know one of the things that we always love to talk about, and this is more from a pre-sale angle, but I think it applies because even though I oversee a team of account executives, we always say we're the first ones to run into the fire. Don't wait for success or support to get back because they're always busy, right? So a lot of times it's very easy to shoot a quick video over saying, hey, Amanda, like I got your back. I might not know the answer, but I'm going to help you find it.
Yep.
That even goes so far. And having Amanda see the person that she was dealing with, the pre-sale side of things, saying, hey, I didn't just disappear. Like I'm still here, goes a long way to making sure that people are feeling supported the entire customer life cycle.
I love that. And kind of taking that idea or that conversation a little bit further, what are some of the best practices as it relates specifically to video that you've seen people use and like continue to build on that feeling of trust?
Yeah, I think a couple of things that we've always loved to do is like frequently asked question videos. So shared libraries where it's like how to log into your account. I know from a Vidyard angle, the one thing we always hear about is when people had been using the free tool and trying to upgrade, sometimes they're just logged into the wrong account at the wrong time. And it's the easiest switch, but it causes so much frustration from the users angle because they can't see the functionality that they're paying for. And being able to go into their account saying, hey, just click this button and you're good to go. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And it makes it so much easier, but it stops us from having to look at the calendars, coordinate with our stakeholders, be like, hey, Friday at 11 o'clock, we can actually dive into this. When we're wasting, say it's Tuesday, so 3 days of them being up and running. And that's just built frustration from there too. So
that's such a good application. Like in sales processes, we use sequences because we don't want to literally type the same thing a million times. And so if you have a frequently asked questions, video library, those are the top questions that your team gets that you answer all the time. So why not just make it easy for a customer to find an answer or for your team to send it out? I love that. That's so smart.
Oh yeah. Or even another one where I've heard from a lot of clients, it's like, hey, well, it's so dependent on the one customer because their portal's set up differently. Well, I bet still 50 to 90% of the thing is the exact same, but there's one little difference that can change it here. So being able to use that same video, maybe 2-3 minutes long, showing them where it is, and then adding another video at the end, being like, here's the unique part for your process, or even then making a 3-minute video. It doesn't take a ton of time, and it saves potentially a 15-minute call.
For sure.
Because we all know our calendars can get swamped, especially as the week moves on. So
it's funny. I had a customer service thing that I needed to cancel a subscription with a delivery subscription that I do. And I like had to go to their website and I had to like answer all these questions, and they don't let you like make changes to your plan in there. You have to like go through chat, and it was just so painful. And all I had a couple questions, and I most likely wanted to cancel, and it was just super cumbersome. And so I think when we can take that weight off of our clients and off of our customers and just make it easy, even if it is something like that, it just like it makes their experience lighter, more delightful, happier. It's awesome.
And it helps the good news spread well because, hey, even if it's not the best fit for them, it doesn't mean it's not the best fit for other companies. And a lot of these people we're talking to or dealing with are going to move into those senior executive roles down the line or have groups and communities where they're talking to them. And just because maybe in this case, Vidyard isn't the best fit for that company at that time, doesn't mean it doesn't make sense for somebody else. So being able to even have a really nice exchange and experience, even when things don't work out there, that creates such good relationships for everything moving forward too. So
awesome. I love that. Well, Josh, thank you again for your time today. I loved talking with you. And
always a pleasure.
I'm sure we'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch soon. Thanks, Amanda.